The story behind the radio tower has been revealed. How's it going, everyone? As always, my name is Jimmy Champagne, and if you like monsters, slashers, pretty much any movie shot during, set during, or inspired by the 1980s, this is the channel for you. Before I jump into this video though, it would really help me out if you looked below the actual video screen and looked at the subscribe button. If it's gray, you're all set. Just click the little bell next to it and make sure it's set to all. And if it's red, you gotta click that button for me. I'm at 49,400 and something subscribers at the time of recording this, and I really want to get to 50K before Halloween Ends comes out. So if you've ever watched before and you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you took the time today. Thank you. I already had one huge Halloween Ends update this week, and now we have yet another one to talk about, because not only do we have a new teaser in the form of a TV spot once again, we also have the Total Film magazine, which I'm going to get into a little bit in this video and then more in another video. And then finally, we also have a bunch of BTS footage to talk about. And I said finally, but I'm definitely talking about that first because that's what I really want to go over. And it's kind of revealing, like just a little bit revealing. I think I'm nailing some of the stuff in my predictions here. So if you don't want anything potentially spoiled for you from the movie, you can click away now, but I think a lot of this is still firmly planted in the grounds of speculation, so I don't think you have too much to worry about. Just wanted to give you the fair warning. The first thing I picked out from this BTS footage is that Hawkins definitely got a promotion between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. In the shot with all the policemen standing around, he is clearly consoling Laurie in some way, and he's wearing a suit. He's wearing a full-on suit. She's dressed up nice as well, so I guess they could be on date night. But I'm gonna believe that he's wearing a suit because he's now been promoted to be a higher ranking officer than sheriff's deputy. I'm glad for the guy. You know, I was really bummed out. If you go back to my reviews of 2018, I am planning on doing a Halloween 2018 revisited though before the movie comes out. Either way, if you go back to my 2018 review, I was really bummed that Hawkins seemingly died. I don't know how they decided or when they decided to bring him back, but it seemed pretty definitive after he got stabbed in the neck and ran over by his own police cruiser in Halloween 2018 that he was not going to be coming back. And then lo and behold, we got all of those rumors leading up to Halloween Kills, and we got to finally see that yes, Hawkins was back. And just like Laurie in that movie, he was pretty much bedridden. And I get it, he was stabbed in the neck and ran over by a car. You know, that's a hard injury to come back from in the same night, as is being stabbed in the gut and beat up like Laurie was by Michael. So it made sense at the time why they were shacked up in the hospital together. And it's cool to see that they're at least maybe dating or something like that in this movie. A lot of the details that have been revealed so far basically let us know that Laurie and Allison are living together after the events of Halloween 2018, and Laurie has just completely moved on from the event. She's trying to move on and finally enjoy her life, and just based on some stuff that I read, it seems like Allison is like 90% there. She's still remembering the event, but she's doing her best not to let it affect her. That seems pretty reasonable considering Laurie's been dealing with it like her whole life, and Allison has only been dealing with it for 4 years. I'm not gonna blame her there. She's probably got a little bit of stuff to work through. She's definitely changed her fashion sense though. Like, she seems a little bit more confident, more grungy. I like her look in this movie a lot. And one of the images that was shown in this BTS scene was her like sitting next to a motorcycle that Corey is on, and she kisses him. So there's obviously some romantic stuff going on between them. David Gordon Green has confirmed stuff like that being in the movie and how it's sort of a coming of age movie for her, but still, it was really cool to see. I mean, I love Cameron. I'm glad they brought him back for Halloween Kills, but Allison being connected to this character who's apparently like the emotional through line throughout the entire movie, I think that's going to put her more in the spotlight than we've seen her in Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. And that makes sense because we have seen her in way more of the marketing for this movie than we have on either of those first two movies. And I'm fine with that. I like that a lot. I want them to use her more. And if she survives this movie, I don't really know what's going to happen. I want to see more movies with Allison because I think she's a great character. And I think Andy Manichek is also a great actor. Anyway, we also got our very first look at Lindsey Wallace in this little teaser, and I'm assuming that this is from the beginning of the movie because after we get our shot of her, everyone's sort of clapping. She's done with the timeline of Halloween to Halloween to Halloween Kills to Halloween Ends, and they're all congratulating her for a job well done making it out of Halloween Kills, because we all know that was no easy feat. So yeah, I'm gonna assume that this takes place at the beginning of the movie and she is just done with the whole Michael Myers thing. she's coming to see Laurie on Halloween night and be like, oh, you are put together. We're gonna carve this jack-o'-lantern together. That's great. I will not be in Haddonfield on Halloween because I'm smart. I'm gonna get out of Dodge and I will not be encountering Michael Myers tonight. I know they could probably kill her off too, just like they did with Tommy and pretty much every other side character from the first movie and 2018, but I think they kind of learned that they killed too many of the main characters and side characters in that movie. So what I'm assuming and just what I'm guessing is that she's going to be in the beginning and then she's getting out of Dodge for Halloween night. That would sort of also explain why we haven't seen Lindsey so much in the marketing, like if she's only in the beginning of the movie, or if what I am like believing in here, what I really want to be true, is that we've only seen stuff from the beginning of the movie and maybe she comes in towards the middle and sticks around till the end. I don't know. I'm glad I'm confused even with this huge info dump we got today. One thing I feel really cool for guessing a long time ago is that not only has Laurie completely moved on from the Halloween night in 1978 and 2018, she's also going to be unprepared in this movie, because part of moving on for her and writing her memoir, the process there is basically her losing that edge where she's like always on the wait for Michael Myers being right over her shoulder coming to kill her. If she's moving on, she's not going to be ready, she's not going to be prepared, and Jamie Lee Curtis confirmed that fact, so that's pretty cool. And then David Gordon Green confirms that Michael has literally just been rotting away and hiding. He's a little bit beaten down, he's a little bit downtrodden, he feels like he might be dying, and that's sort of like explained to us in his mask and I guess how we see him rotting in the sewers. And as David Gordon Green puts it, he's been rotting for 4 years and he's brought out of hiding because he gets a new colleague, so to speak. And I'm just gonna assume that's Corey Cunningham, you know, the Christine connection and all of that. Corey Cunningham might be the secret admirer of Michael, who's trying to get close to Allison, to get close to Laurie, so that he can bring them together, sort of like Sartain did back in Halloween 2018. I don't know. It doesn't really explain anything, which is good, and I'm glad that there's another wrinkle to this element here, so I can't just figure out the entire movie myself. If Corey Cunningham is the Arnie Cunningham to Michael's Christine, though, I feel like he is not going to make it out alive in this movie, because especially if he's basically convinced Allison to like get together with him so that he can get closer to Allison and Laurie so that he can bring Michael and all them together, you know, that is pretty justified that Michael might ultimately kill him, and I'd be fine with that if that is the case. But if it's not the case and he really is a good guy, I hope he makes it out of this movie alive, because, you know, Allison's had it pretty rough. She's had her mom killed, her dad killed, her boyfriend killed. She deserves to have just like a little bit, like a modicum of happiness exiting this movie, especially if it is truly the last Halloween we'll ever see her in. Anyway, the end of the BTS promises the ultimate showdown between Laurie and Michael, and one blurb I picked out in the Total Film magazine that I'll talk about again more in a different video is that David Gordon Green wanted that ultimate fight to be like the fight in They Live, which is basically like the best on-screen movie fight of all time. Obviously, David Gordon Green is a huge John Carpenter fan. I mean, making that tribute to him in the flashback and absolutely nailing it, especially with the Loomis prosthetic, the fact that he's calling back to Christine. I mean, even the radio tower is a callback to The Fog, which one of the main characters of that movie is a radio DJ. This dude obviously has a huge respect for John Carpenter, but he's willing to do his own thing with the source material and the characters that he's been given a chance to work with. And I like that. There are so many Halloween movies where it's just the same thing. Michael escapes, he murders people, that's the end of it. We have all of those. We can go watch those whenever we want. I mean, we even have that in Halloween Kills and to some extent Halloween 2018. So for the final movie in Laurie's timeline to do something genuinely different here, I'm fine with it. Now, I'm not telling you that Halloween Ends is going to be good. Based on everything I've seen and read so far, it seems like it's going to be good, and based on David Gordon Green's track record, I feel totally fine putting faith in the guy. I also think it's really smart that he acknowledged that him and Danny McBride brought in new writers to help them screenwrite on this movie. And I didn't notice if Scott Teems was involved in the script writing for Halloween Ends. I'm gonna assume not. I more prefer David Gordon Green and Danny McBride to be leading the ship here and have some help from other people versus like gassing up his script, which is what I think happened with Halloween Kills. I'm just not entirely certain. But yeah, that was the BTS. I've been using the screenshots as B-roll, but if you want to see it with the commentary from all the different people that were interviewed for it, you can find it on YouTube. The channel where I found it is Mayhem Mendez, and what I'm thinking happened here is that this guy was maybe hired to compile some BTS footage for a behind the scenes featurette that's going to go on the Blu-ray. We had stuff like this release early with Halloween 2018, and I can't remember, but I'm sure it happened with Kills. This person just might have posted their B-roll footage a little too early, and revealed some minor plot points, but nothing really in this BTS reveals anything that we haven't been able to figure out from that first trailer. I got to assume that the second trailer is right around the corner with all this marketing, and you will be seeing a full unboxing and review of my Trick or Treat Studios mask. I was able to order it today. It was kind of irritating because once again, just like with the other two masks, I went on Trick or Treat Studios website as soon as the mask dropped and the website immediately went down. It's frustrating that we're on the third movie in this franchise and we're going through the exact same thing we went through with Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018, where as soon as the mask shows up, people want to buy it, it crashes the website. By the time you're actually able to get through, it is sold out. So I'm going to give a shout out to where I've gotten all of my Michael Myers masks lately, or since 2018, Nightmare Toys. They ship super fast and it looks like I'm going to have the mask tomorrow. So hopefully in my next video, I'll be able to unbox that mask and also talk about the total film issue more. But the one little thing that I want to get out there, just because I feel like people are going to pick up on it pretty soon, is that they finally told us who the person is in the radio tower. And this is all kind of tied to a TV spot. Another one came out. I was able to find it in high quality, so you're seeing screenshots of it. There is an awesome line where Laurie says maybe for Michael to die, she has to die with him. I love that. They're playing up that final confrontation between these characters, but for one split second, we see Michael grab the back of someone's head and slam them into a desk. And I didn't catch it the first time I saw the trailer, but I watched it again and I realized that the guy's in a radio station. Like, I had a radio show in college. It looked exactly like the radio station in this teaser. And so I looked at the total film article right after and I found out that this character is DJ Willie the Kid. And for the past 4 years, he's been holed up in that radio tower. And between tracks on his show, he's been talking about whether or not Michael Myers is supernatural, whether or not he can die, whether or not he's out there. He's really obsessed with the idea of Michael Myers and who he is. And I love this character, not only because A, it reminds me of one of the main characters from The Fog, which is one of my favorite movies ever. It also reminds me of people like me. We watched a movie, Dave McRae, Wolfman's Got Nards, and of course Drum Dums, the Hollow Stream Boys. We're all obsessed with Michael Myers. We're always talking about whether or not this dude's supernatural. And to see a character that kind of represents us in some way, whether it was intentional or not, I thought it was really cool reading this. And it's just funny to me that after like a whole year of being like, what's up with the radio tower? We now know what is up with the radio tower, and Michael is obviously going to catch wind of all these rumors and he is going to go put a stop to them because he wants to show people whether or not he's supernatural, not just have some guy on the radio telling everyone about it. And it's cool to have a little callback to Halloween 6 as well, I guess, right? Like, there was the radio show in that. The radio show was kind of a dickhead, but it was a cool scene in the movie and it had that super cool fall ambience. And there was also some more images that came out today that show us all of the amazing Halloween decorations in Haddonfield. Like, this is the best I've ever seen in a Halloween movie. You know, it's gotten its run for its money and a few other ones, but just like this house reminds me of Hawkins, which makes sense because they filmed it in Georgia. It looks incredible with all of the decorations out on the front porch. There's also just an absolutely phenomenal shot of Michael standing behind a tree looking into the house that we saw in the first trailer. I absolutely love that because it's reminiscent of this shot that's on screen right now from the first movie. It's cool to see a callback there in the last movie because that's like one of the most pivotal points in the entire first movie. And then there's an over-the-shoulder shot where we're behind Michael and he's watching Laurie get out of a pickup truck, and there are Halloween decorations all over the place there as well. Great job, guys. Whoever designed this set with all of these Halloween decorations, you absolutely killed it. You get A+ from me on that, and I haven't even seen the movie yet. Like, that's how much I think this is good. I cannot wait till I have a house and I can decorate it for Halloween, because an apartment is just not cutting it. It's hard to decorate the outside of an apartment for Halloween. You know what I'm saying? I am liking the direction of this movie. I think the idea of there being someone at the center of this movie that's sort of like the Arnie Cunningham to Michael's Christine is awesome. It's a cool way to bring Laurie back. You know, she's moved on after 4 years. She's trying something new, but she cannot rest until Michael Myers is dead, and she has to understand that. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. Again, when my mask shows up, I'm going to do a video about that. I'm super excited. I'm planning on repainting it again this year like I did with my Kills mask last year, so I can have a Halloween Ends mask on Halloween. Anyway, like I said, that's all I've got. So as always, my name is Jimmy Champagne, and I'll see you in the next one. Shape on.